Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Wednesday, the 30th of March 2022. I'm Michael Thompson. Every afternoon, Australia's most popular business podcast brings you the 5 news items you need to know about today. So let's jump into it. Story number 1 today is the markets. The S&P ASX 200 continued its run of gains today, rising 0.7% to close at 7,515 points, setting another 50-day high. Most sectors did pretty well today, with the tech sector outperforming. IT company Life360 was the best on the bourse, up almost 10%, but Block, the owner of Afterpay, climbed 6%, and online accounting group Xero added 5% too. The healthcare, household goods, telcos, property, utility sectors also all finished up. The miners and resource sectors, though, were slightly down. One reason the shine has come off them a little is some of the declining commodity prices this week. Brent crude oil is down 8.6% for the week, and coal is down a whopping 21.8%. But to be fair, it is coming off some staggeringly high prices of late. Natural gas prices have climbed a relatively measly 1.1% for the week, and iron ore is up 3.9% for the last 7 days. Most agricultural and food commodities have seen price falls over the past week. Story number 2 today is about the banks, specifically National Australia Bank, which has had a stellar run lately. The NAB share price hit a 5-year high today of $32.48. That was this morning before it settled back slightly later in the day. NAB shares were still up 0.8% for the day and around 10% for the month. So what's happening at NAB? Well, there's been no major news today or yesterday, but the bank has been buying back shares and recently announced another buyback round. Buybacks shrink the pool of shares available, making the remaining shares more valuable. It's been a good month all round, really, for the banks, with the majors all recording increases. Westpac and ANZ are both up between 6 and 7% for the month, whereas Commonwealth Bank has climbed more than 12% across the same period. And just on the subject of banks, another bank, ING, which has around 2 million active banking customers in Australia and a home loan book of about $54 billion, has announced an after-tax profit of $549 million for the last calendar year. Not bad for the bank, best known probably for its bright orange cards and the very orange TV ads. Story number 3, after almost 7 years as Chief Executive Officer, Telstra boss Andy Penn announced his resignation today. Mr. Penn will leave on September 1. He's overseen a successful transformation program called T22 at Australia's biggest telco provider. It cut costs by about $2.5 billion, but also downsized the workforce by 8,000 people across that time. The last year in particular has been a very busy one for Mr. Penn, including finalising the purchase of telco Digicel, something we've talked about a lot on Fear and Greed, and an infrastructure access swap with TPG. The outgoing CEO has also recently sold a 49% stake in the telco's tower business for $2.8 billion. Replacing Mr. Penn is Vicky Brady, who's worked at Telstra since 2016 and been its Chief Financial Officer since 2019. Telstra's share price closed down 0.75% today on Mr. Penn's resignation news. Story number 4, we like talking about Qantas on Fear and Greed. We like talking about Jetstar and Virgin and even Rex, actually. We just like talking about airlines. Today, though, we are talking about the new startup low-cost airline, Bonza. Based at Sunshine Coast Airport, Bonza today announced they're starting recruitment for pilot and cabin crew roles, with 200 initial jobs becoming available based in Queensland and Victoria. Bonza is due to get a handful of 737 MAX aircraft from its financial backers soon and wants to start flying around July, but they're yet to actually secure their air operator's license. Bonza is yet to start selling tickets, but apparently they'll start doing so shortly after Easter. You've got to love a bit of competition when it comes to airfares. And finally, story number 5 is the flood crisis in northern New South Wales, as if the region hasn't been through enough in the last few weeks. Rain is continuing to fall. There are evacuation orders in place for a range of towns, including Lismore. We all saw the terrible images out of Lismore earlier this month. Well, the Wilsons River is forecast to reach up to 12 metres tonight, which is just shy of the disastrous 1974 flood level of 12.1 metres, well in excess, though, of the town's levees. Even the tourist hub of Byron Bay has been inundated, with footage of the main street underwater. This is certainly an evolving situation, and a tragic one at that. That's it for the afternoon report for Wednesday, the 30th of March 2022. Adam Lang and I will be back tomorrow morning for the Thursday edition of Fear and Greed. I'm Michael Thompson. Enjoy your evening.